on a platform like LinkedIn or YouTube or anything like that to actually have meaningful conversations is kind of what it's all about. So,
Yes.
so yeah, everybody is going to be hopping in here either live or after the fact to talk about how female coaches and therapists can survive and get paid their value. The fact of the matter is, this is just like a conversation we wanted to broadcast because people deserve to have this conversation. People deserve to hear about this conversation and contribute to them. So I want to just, before we even dive into everything, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are here because we want to hear what you have to say as well. So if you have comments or anything like that, please share them. I will be keeping track as best I can for any comments that come up. But this is a conversation that Lisa and I have started a while ago, and we just felt like it was important for us to share this conversation with other people as well.
Yes.
So let's start by introducing ourselves and one another. Lisa, I'm going to let you go ahead because you're amazing and you do some pretty great work on authority.
Yes. So I am the authority on authority power. I am in the authority business. So I work with female coaches, therapists, business owners who want to be known as the go-to in their industry for the problem that they solve. To me, the most powerful sentence in the English language is, I know a gal. I normally say guy, but I'm going to say gal. And my clients become that person. They are the choice when that problem is brought up. People evangelize on their behalf. People say, oh my God, you have to use Shauna. Hands down, got to do it. And that's what helps us as females to have our own value and to get what we are worth in terms of time, respect, authority, and income.
And one of the things that I really love about how you approach this, and that's why I like to tease about the pun of authority, is that you help people with their books, which is kind of a big deal because, I mean, you have your books, you've supported other people with their books. I have a book that I contributed to here, Mastery Unleashed, and it's just, not only does it feel great to say, I have a book, like it feels really cool. I mean, if you stack on, #1 international best-selling author, all this fancy stuff, it makes you feel like you can sit up straighter. It feels good.
That's right.
It also helps externally, what you're talking about here, where people can get to know you through your book and then actually want to have a conversation with you as a human being. And they're like, oh,
that's right.
I read your story about the clips. And I'm referring to a story that I have in my book. I read your story about the paper clips, and it totally resonated. Can you tell me how you got through that? Because, oh my gosh, I feel this, and it's that connection can't be beat.
That's right. And the other reason why books are amazing, and authorship has many paths. It's not, you have to do a 30, 40,000 word book. There are a lot of paths to authorship, but you can't spell authority without the word author. And I've heard someone say it is a physical manifestation of your authority that someone can take with them and have. They get a piece of you. I mean, imagine that. That's a piece that they get to interact with. They get to learn about your area of genius. They get to know you on a different level because it's a book, and it's to support your clients. Personal branding has nothing to do with you. It has to do with how your clients see you and how you help them solve their problem.
This is where I get all hot and bothered because as you know, I'm working with coaches, therapists, and service-based professionals to really develop their brand identity, to really flesh out their marketing strategy in a way that is completely novel to what we think branding and marketing is. We're completely ditching the soul-sucking marketing advice that was really rooted in the patriarchy and the corporate realities that don't really apply to many female entrepreneurs of today, and instead create a system that works for us, for our reality, and actually, dare I say it, make it fun.
Yes.
That's the idea here. And
absolutely.
Topic. I'm putting my curtain away because the sun came out. So we're going to have a little more sunshine here.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. It's going to be really hot here today. I think it's going to be 105. I don't know what that is in Celsius. It's just ungodly hot.
That sounds
40
like
something. Yeah, it's awful.
That's definitely
it's like nah.
It's chilly here. We're right around the 10-degree mark, plus or minus Celsius. So it's chilly.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if I was coming from 150.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I wanted to say is about the branding and marketing bit, because a lot of times, like, we're talking about how can coaches actually show up in a way that's going to make a difference, that's going to actually change their business, right? Like, you need to live in your value. You need to feel grounded. You need to feel respected, but you also need to get paid, and you need to put bread on the table. So while having a book is amazing, right? While being able to develop a strategy that works for you is sustainable and ethical and all that jazz, which I will preach to the end of the days, we really need to answer the question of, like, okay, sure, that's fine and dandy if I've already got money. That's fine and dandy if I've already got time. That's fine and we could keep going, right? There are all of these excuses and reasons why a lot of people struggle in this space. So, I mean, I'm going to let you take the lead for a moment, Lisa, because I've got all of these opinions and I don't really want to preach at everyone who's coming here. And usually I find that you ground me a little bit better. So I'm going to let you go ahead and start this off before I start getting a little too preachy at everyone, because I want you all to succeed.
Absolutely. And so do I. So I am doing a webinar on Thursday for Skills for Startup. I'm a new board member. It's all for entrepreneurs, startup businesses, and helping them get a leg up as they move forward. So excited for this conference and being able to share my area of genius. And something that I noticed in my research, and this I think also applies to women. When we get nervous, when entrepreneurs get nervous, we revert back to being small. Now, what do I mean by that? We start talking about features and benefits instead of talking about results that people get. We worry, well, I don't have the big client. I don't have the big dollars. And I get that. I'll tell you a story because I'm a storyteller. I was part of an association for and being a woman-owned business. And I went to a conference and we got to meet with different larger companies that would hire you that you normally wouldn't be able to talk to because you're small. And one of the people across the table from me, and I had only been in business like maybe 4 years. Mm-hmm. And it was just me, little old me. But I was really proud of what I had achieved because I quit my full-time job. I was paying my bills. I was making an income. And I had been doing it for 4 years, which already I had blown out the statistics, right? And the woman across from me, and it was unfortunately a woman, and I was surprised at that, but she really talked down to me like, well, you should be bigger and you should have more clients, and just shoulded all over me.
Yeah.
And your journey is your own. And think about your first client that you got. Just, think about that. The first time someone handed you money because of what was inside your brain. That's a pivotal moment. That's an aha moment. And I'm not saying that corporations are evil and bad. But what I am saying is you're building your own empire. You're building your own authority. You're not going into an organization that's already been in business 150 years and has made it that far. And hold on to that. Be proud of that. And if you have to do something, so that there are going to be people that are going to look down on you. There are going to be people that are going to say that is one of my influencers and one of my mentors, Mark Schaefer, who I wrote a book with. And to me, it's like gold things, branding voice, and AI, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Still talking to him.
Mm.
And I'm like, are you serious? On CNN, and reviewed by, just ridiculous publications. He has like 15 books, and you're still doubting him. So is always going to be there. The question becomes, are you going to listen to that noise, or are you going to go, you know what? I actually have an area of genius, and maybe I haven't hit full authority power yet, but I have the authority. And this in speeches before, I don't say build, I don't say go, I say unleash. And I'm very, very
yeah. Well, it's
yeah.
You're saying build, and you're thinking like this is still a small action, right? You still
Right.
You say grow, and sure, but it's a bit of a. I mean, it's not bad, but unleash feels like a bursting forth, and that
exactly.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. You and I are Harry Potter crazy fans. I think about he was doing magic without even knowing he was doing magic, right? He had it.
This little guy.
Yeah, he made a Patronus charm without knowing how to do it, and he did it because he had already done it. I mean, that's crazy logic, if you ask me. But that's what we have as female entrepreneurs, as coaches, as consultants, as business owners. We have that authority power within us. We just have to get out of our own way and let it out.
Yeah. And that's something that I can stand really, really firmly in, is that confidence piece, right? Because I got really excited because you were talking about how, no matter what level you're at, people are going to talk down to you. And I just kept on singing Taylor Swift. Haters gonna hate. It's like, okay, let them.
Exactly.
Let them talk. Like, who cares? Let them, because they aren't you. And this is it's so important to me, and I get so jazzed up about it. It's like really getting people to understand their worth as individuals first, and then also as business owners, so that they can then start making CEO decisions, right? This is where I know that a few of my clients have heard me say it, and they roll their eyes because they're like, I hate that she's right. Because it's hard to step into that CEO mindset, to step into that space where you feel confident enough to say, no, I'm not listening to that. I'm doing this for me. This is the thing that feels aligned. This is the thing that I feel like is going to support me the best with what I'm doing. Obviously, that is not to disregard any experts who are trying to help you, but it is to take the information that is relevant to you and then launch forward within that space. Because if you're going to stand tall in your confidence, if you're going to make those decisions, you can't just be making them flippantly. You need to actually be grounded in some sort of substance, some sort of experience or data analytics. And I really believe that at that intersection of confidence and data and experience comes this beautiful space where you get to play, where you get to enjoy how you are creating your success or unleashing your success. You get to play in that space. And when you're playing, it opens up doors and opportunities for you to try something new. Raise your prices. Just try it. What's the worst that happens? Right? Like truly, if you're not getting clients now, or you're getting a trickle through, raise your prices. The worst that'll happen is you still don't get clients, or you get a trickle through. Oh, who cares?
Right.
My serious bet is that you're probably not getting clients because your prices are too low, because the perceived value of what you have to offer is low because your price is low. So they're like, I don't want it. Why would I? And it's
it feels counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny because people think, oh, if my prices are lower, I'll get more people. But people actually become skeptical when your prices are lower. And
Mhm.
the other issue I think that ties into that is your confidence goes down. If you're lowering your prices, it's because you feel like you were in a famine mode. And what you're attracting then with that energy, and I totally believe in that, you attract things with the energy you put out. And
Yeah.
when you're putting out an energy of, oh my God, I got to get a client in, oh my God, where's my next client coming from? Instead of, okay, who can I serve? Who's got the problem that I know I can solve? Let me get, and I know I can solve it. Those are two very different conversations. And when you're in that desperation mode, you unfortunately attract clients that want to take advantage of your desperation.
Yeah.
Those are your South Star clients. Those are the clients that are the worst. And I've had those because I've had those feelings. We've all had those feelings where you're like, oh my God, I have to get something in. I have
Absolutely.
to pay my bills. What am I going to do? And then you get this awful client that just sucks you dry, right? That vampire energy suck. And it kills you to actually then find a good client because this person has taken all of your energy.
Mhm.
And I have been there. Oh my God. I still have PTSD from one of those.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And again, I know it's hard to see now. And I think one of the things we want to talk about actions you can take, because I'm all about taking actions. One of the actions that you can take is every single day, and I mean every single day, including the weekends if you can tolerate it, connect with one person. My coach, Mark LeBlanc, calls it a storm starter. Talk to a prior client that you haven't talked to in a while who had a great experience with you and maybe needs a refresh. Talk
Mhm.
to a new prospect. Talk to an influencer who can make an introduction. Talk to a referral source, one of your PB and J's, your peanut butter and jellies, because you go together like PB and J. And do that every single day. If you do that and you consistently do that, you'll see people are booking appointments with you for 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out to have a conversation. And maybe it's just a catch up conversation that turns into something else. But when you see that on your calendar, and you go, oh, there could be an opportunity there. There could be an opportunity there. I think that helps shift your mindset into I'm not in famine. I actually have a steady stream of conversations coming in that can lead to more business. And when that
Yes.
happens, the conversation you have with someone who's not a right fit client is okay because tomorrow you have a new conversation.
You're going to be
And I
opening.
love doing that. Yeah.
One thing I have to say about that, though, because this is something, it's a really big trap that people get into. And I can already kind of feel the vibes because I've had these conversations with people who've experienced it, is having a conversation every day works with an asterisk of the fact that you need to have an intention behind it. And your intention can't be
Yes.
get to know you. Let's have a coffee chat. And it can't be something like that. And I'm also not saying these conversations are all salesy, yucky conversations, because that doesn't feel good either. I know that. There's a happy middle ground where you just need to remember to have an ask. And the ask isn't necessarily for a sales call or an enrollment call. The ask could be, who do you know who I should know? Right? Something like that. Who can I introduce you to? Usually that, if you feel a little awkward asking for an introduction, offering one usually gets you to receiving one, because that's a lot
That's
of us,
right.
right? So just make sure that you have an idea of where am I taking this next, so that it's not just talking for the sake of talking.
That's right. Oh, and I totally agree with that. And it can be a 15-minute conversation.
Oh yeah.
And I split it into
If
thirds,
you can
right?
keep it to that.
If you can keep it to that. I'm a bit
Um,
of a talker and I end up talking for 30 minutes because I
yeah.
have a problem. But,
Same.
I do the law of thirds, right? The first third of the conversation, I want to know about you. I want to know about who you serve and the problem you solve. And I'm going through my
Mhm.
mind, who can I introduce this person to that needs that service, or someone that can actually open a door to a target rich environment for that individual. That's my first intention. Always, always, always. Who can I introduce you to? How can I get you more exposure? How can I get you in front of the right people? That's the first 10 minutes. Second 10 minutes, I'll talk about me, but then I'll talk about my services as part of what they're doing, if that makes sense. So I'm
Yep.
not just saying,
We
I do
collaborate.
this and I do that. Yeah, I overlap with what they've told me.
Yes.
So if they tell me that, as an example, they build websites, when I'm talking about what I do, I talk about their services as part of that. You know, you're not really just building websites. You know that, right? Like, that's not actually the business you're in. You're in the business of claiming your digital space, making your digital mark, having an experience within a digital asset that introduces someone to that brand. And they're like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way before. Yeah. So in a way, I'm already coaching them, right? And then the last third is, what do you need from me? What do I need from you?
Yeah.
Let's both do an ask. What can I do to support you? I always ask that. I'm sure I asked that to you, Shauna.
Absolutely.
What can I do to support you? Not, if you need any support, let me know. Now, I want to know specifically, what can I do? Give me a target so I can help you. And sometimes it's as easy as, I got 2 people I'm going to introduce you to. As soon as I get off the call, I make those introductions.
And that's where that buffer time around calls makes a difference. A lot of people,
yes,
oh, I don't need that. It's fine. It's fine. No, keep that bit of buffer time, because there's always some strings that you need to tie at the end.
That's yes.
2 introductions, that takes a little bit of time. Leave yourself 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah.
do it immediately. People,
Yes.
people are shocked. They're blown away when you say, I'm going to make these introductions. And within 15 minutes of getting off the call, you've made the introductions.
Wow.
I don't know about you, but I want to get that stuff off of my to-do list immediately. Because if I can do it in under 5 minutes, I do it right then.
And you
I
know
don't
what?
wait.
This is a really important part of how we can help our communities succeed in sharing this knowledge wealth. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted us to have this conversation, is because as a neurodivergent female entrepreneur, I experienced all of the little quandaries we've just discussed, like walking into a door. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, that was an inconvenience. Like, I self-sabotaged the heck out of myself. And it would be little things like that where I'll get to that. I'll do it later. But out of sight, out of mind, especially for somebody like myself, that list, it'll sit there, it'll move, it won't get done. So I've actually carried that into every single piece of what I do. I have a call, like we just described. Next 15 minutes, I'm doing what I said I would do. I have my office hours every week. At the end of those office hours, I may not always do all of the projects that I committed to, because remember, these are like a number of clients coming to me with a number of asks, but I always send them a recap email. And if it's a minor project, like you said, I do it then, and I attach it to that recap email saying, check, check, check. We've done all this. You're good to go for the next week. If it's a bigger project, then we at least say, okay, here are the due dates, or here's the timeline that we're looking at here, depending on the type of project that's there. Or sometimes it's not me. Sometimes it's a done with you situation, and I just need to give them the first 3 steps.
Right.
And I do it right after the call.
Yeah.
There's a booking that you need to have. If you're on whether it's on an intro call or whether it's on a client call, if you're like, oh yeah, we should totally have a one-on-one, book it on the call.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You say, hey, let's do a follow-up. Oh yeah, we should do a follow-up. 3 months, good? Okay, 3 months. Next week? Okay, next week. Book it on the call. Get it done.
Yes. And sometimes I even do it at the beginning of the call. Let's
if you
do
know
this right now. Yeah. And get it on the calendar. And now we're just going to go all the way to the end, all the way to the last second of our session. Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And that helps people to trust you. We're trying to build trust with people. And if you say you're going to do something and then you fail to do it, then your integrity has just slipped in their minds. And now you're going to have to fight to get that back. Don't overcommit for sure. I mean, 1 or 2 introductions, I think, is more than enough. You don't have to go banana sandwiches in what you're committing to. And that's something I have had to work on. Doing a couple introductions is good. And because I understand who they serve and the problem they solve, when I make the introduction, it actually has value. This is why I'm bringing you two together. This person has this person has this. And I'm reflecting back to the prospect that I just talked to, because a lot of times these people become future clients that I actually understood. I heard and understood what they want to be known for. I see them, not just this is so-and-so, good luck. I actually took the time to write stuff down. And I actually, and I sometimes I even position them in an interesting way. And they're like, wow, I would have never introduced myself like that before. I'm going to use that. Absolutely. R&D, Robin duplicates.
When they ask, can I use that? It's yours. It's you. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that I've had to work on is, because I love having conversations and I love meeting people and I love hearing their stories, I have to limit the days that I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, that's all I would do. And I would never work. That's a problem. So, so I have to. I mean, I'm already in the 5 a.m. club. So I get up at 5 a.m. every single day because I start having calls at 6:30, 7 a.m. And I have to make sure, and I actually now have to block out time on my calendar, for writing work or client work or having lunch and just being maybe not perfect and certainly not always perfectly executing, but having some kind of schedule so that I'm honoring my time as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's key. And,
I love because I had written down here as one of my notes that I wanted to bring up was the fact that love doesn't pay the bills.
That's right. Oh, that's good. That's one of your magic words and phrases. Perfect. I love it.
And as much as, I totally did like a little romance, like really cheesy, disgusting, like romance moment with my husband, because we had, what was it? Even though we ain't got money.
Yeah.
So it came on our Alexa in the kitchen. I'm not
She who shall not be named. Yeah,
that's right. So she was singing it, and I said, "Oh, we should dance to this. It's so romance." Just silly little things. But I think of that, and I'm like, it's true. It's lovely. It's sweet. But in the end, we need to eat.
Yes.
We need we need to eat. So when we ground ourselves in that fact, it starts changing kind of the way we approach certain things. We have to protect our time. I actually, one thing that you said earlier about getting those, you said what were they, South Pole clients, something like that?
Oh, getting rid of your South Star clients and getting North Star clients. Yeah. So instead of saying bad or yucky clients,
I like that.
South Star.
That was very.
It's a nicer way of saying it. Yeah.
100%.
Because you want the North Star clients that are like, you want the clients that, like today, one of my new
even
clients,
without
Tony.
clients, without clients, considering that when we were talking about calls, there's also the fact that some of those calls are not even with clients or prospective clients. They're tire kickers.
Yeah.
So that time protection protects you from tire kickers, people who aren't serious about this, South Star clients, and understanding that protecting your time, making those boundaries around all of those decisions, that's what allows you to be kind to yourself, understanding that love doesn't pay the bills. And so this is why I'm making these choices. That's right. I'm going to give more love by giving it intentionally. Don't over.
That's right.
Protect your time. We should have a list. Maybe that's what I'll do after this is I'll create a list of step 1, step 2, step 3 of how
Yeah,
can
and put
you
it on a mug. I
Yes.
mean, get out your Cricut and put it on a mug. And that way
Every
you
day
look
you
at
look
it
at
every
the
day. You look at that list and go, okay.
Better yet, people can write it with lipstick on their mirror because that's all
Oh,
sexy
nice.
stuff. No, that's like
There you
totally
go.
right. Anyway, but these are the little things along the way that can make a huge difference in whether or not you're making money. And
Yes,
we're not money hungry people, but we live in reality.
that's right. And you know, the other thing that when you were talking about that, so one of my other clients, Fran Pratt, who is amazing. She is the sales architect. And she's actually coaching me now. So I was, you know, she's my client, I'm her client. It's all fun. So she talks about how maybe is a no in a fancy dress. And I absolutely love that. And you chase the maybes. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Let it go.
Let it go. If someone's a maybe, you can support them by showing up on LinkedIn or your social media of your choice and still putting out authority content that is content forward. Content forward, meaning you were talking about solutions to problems. You were talking about trends you were seeing. You were talking about things you were seeing with your clients, and you're getting on your soapbox for a hot second because you want people to stop doing this one thing because it's making you crazy. It's creaming your corn, and you want to stop them doing that. And if you do that and you still show up, the maybes will see that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll pick a side of the fence. Maybe they'll go, nah, or they'll go, yeah, that person is the one that I want. And I've noticed that by having these additional conversations scheduled. And again, I go 30 days out so that I know what my calendar looks like. And again, I'm selective in where they can book. By knowing I have that, I let them maybes go through their own buyer journey without my assistance. They don't need me. I don't need to manage their feelings. I don't need to manage their anxiety. They're adults. They can make a decision, and I want them to make the right one in their time and in their way. And I've noticed that by having these, I don't want to say distractions, but they kind of are, right? These other things that are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
that I can let go of the maybes. I can focus on the yes, the people that have said yes. And I would say for me, 60 to 70% of my maybes turn into yeses within 3 months.
Yeah.
Without me doing anything else.
And they don't feel pressured.
They don't feel pressured.
And I think the cherry on top with that sort of methodology is the fact that you're not creating this content just for the maybes. You're creating this content one to many. So while those maybes exist within that audience of many, there are so many yeses in there too.
That's right.
Showing up, keep doing things intentionally to create the community around yourself of yeses, or maybe going to turn yeses, and you just keep nurturing them and sharing. Back to that idea of knowledge wealth.
Yeah.
Just let people experience you in your fullness. That's why I keep saying to people.
Yes. Let people experience you in your fullness. I love that. Again, another magic word and phrase for you. And it's also showing that you're willing to invest in them first. You're willing to take the first step.
Right.
You know, I always go back to, you know, you've been married for a long time. I'm in a long-term relationship, but I still remember when I was dating and that icky feeling when someone didn't want to meet you halfway or they wanted you to travel all the way to them.
Every time.
And you were like, yeah. And you were like, well, I don't want to start our relationship this way where I'm already sacrificing and I don't even know you. I mean, I'm not saying you have to come by me, but let's meet halfway. And when you do that, when you show up and you're meeting them halfway, you're actually letting them win. You're letting them win. And who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to go, oh, you're actually helping me without asking anything in return. Oh, you're actually providing some of your knowledge just because you can. Wow. And you're not pushing me to say yes to a sale. Amazing.
Yeah. You just
Those are the conversations to have.
And just to make sure that everybody knows we're humans, you made me think of, actually, I don't know if you watched The Office.
No, I have not.
So I think most people on the internet, sorry if this spoils anything, but I think most people on the internet know that Pam and Jim wind up together. And when Jim proposes to her, he doesn't go to her. He doesn't ask her to go to him. They actually meet halfway for the proposal. Like, and I feel like it's just such a great embodiment of, and again, I haven't finished the whole thing of The Office. Like, I'm at a certain point in it, so I don't even know how it ends. But up until the point where I've watched, it seems like a really great representation of their relationship, of that whole idea of meeting halfway. It's just so pretty. I wanted to bring that up because it gives people something to connect to and to know that we're human. Like we like shows like The Office. I was also going to sing "Let It Go" by the Frozen song with Elsa when you said "Let It Go," and I stopped myself. So you're welcome to everyone. The other thing I wanted to say, I love this. I had to write it down. You're willing to invest in them first. This is a really important mindset shift. And I think we're only going to be chatting for another 5 to 10 minutes. So I wanted to kind of get to some of the more actionable, forward-facing things. And we've already naturally gotten there is the idea of creating content, the idea of showing up. There are a lot of people who, for lack of a better word, they hate it. They hate it. And I get it. It can feel like a chore. However, I think that mindset there, you're willing to invest in them first, might be a really great intro step to creating more purpose behind what you're doing. A lot of the people who we are hanging out with are servant leaders. A lot of these people are kind and giving of themselves. And so the idea of creating content feels like I'm doing this for myself so that I can attract clients. It feels like a self-serving act. But I think that this is actually, in my humble opinion, this is what it is. You're investing in them. You're sharing your knowledge wealth with them in order to provide them with service, in order for you to serve them in that first step. And when they get that taste, that's what it's like to work with Lisa. That's what she's like. That's when they elect to continue to work with you so that you can continue to serve them. That's a really important mindset shift around how you're showing up. And because I can hear it already, because all of my clients have, I shouldn't say all, that was generic, but many of my clients have said, who wants to hear what I have to say? You can just look it up. But all of these things, they're like, nobody wants to hear from me. Am I really investing in them? But okay, no, stop that head trash. First of all, step into your confidence. We're going full circle here. Be a CEO. Understand that what you know is a far cry from what the person down the street knows.
Right. Because it's your experiences and your stories.
Yes.
And your stories matter. Your stories matter because they make it uniquely you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a client, and I mean, this is an exaggeration. I should say exaggerated. Did not happen in real life. She invested in me because we both played the ukulele, not because I'm a brand and marketing expert. That's not entirely true, but that happened to be one of the things we were able to bond and connect on.
Yeah.
And so don't belittle your experiences and your knowledge wealth. I ask my clients all the time, okay, we're going to make an email sequence. I ask them, what is the first thing your clients need to know? And 9 times out of 10, they tell me like the 384th thing that they actually need to know. I go, no, you rewind the clock. They don't realize how much they know. And going back to step 1 is a challenge because they're so smart. You all who are joining us for this conversation, you're so freaking smart and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
It just, I need a gong. I need to bang a gong.
Absolutely. And a lot of women feel like they're bragging when they create content. And what I always tell my clients, that's because you're falling into the I trap.
Mm.
I do this, I do that, I handle this, I do it this way. And so it feels icky. It has that ickiness to it. If you instead switched your language to my clients, as a result of working with me, my clients get, or my client was able to, and you take out the I language, you're doing two things. You're talking about the results that someone gets working with you, because people don't hire you for the activity. People don't hire you, Shauna, because you're going to rewrite their content. No one wakes up at 3:00 in the morning and says, oh my God, I need to talk to Shauna because I need to rewrite my content. That is not a thing. No one wakes up at 3:00 in the morning and says, oh my God, I need to work with Lisa because I need to redo my headline for my LinkedIn. That is not a thing. They wake up and go, oh my God, I don't have clients for next month and I have to pay the bills. What the beep am I going to do? That's what they wake up for. So when you talk about the results, you're making sure that you're following it all the way through. Again, we talked about how when we get uncomfortable, we go to features and benefits because it's safe. When we go to results, now you're putting a line in the sand. And that can sometimes feel uncomfortable, but I want you to get uncomfortable. I want you to talk about what your clients get from working with you, because that's what they're paying you for. And that is what they will pay top dollar to get, because they want to solve a problem that wakes them up in the middle of the night. And I'm not saying that that's the only thing you can do, but if you focus on that in your language, you're helping to get to that results area, and you're helping to add that value instinctively into your services. And to me, that's huge.
Yeah.
And the other thing, when you're doing that,
need. That's
yes,
that classic statement.
That's right. And the other reason I absolutely suggest doing this, and the other thing you get out of it is now you're helping your clients envision working with you. You're painting a picture and they go, I have that problem. Oh, that's the result. I can see those results. I need to talk to this person. And now they want to have a conversation with you because they can envision the two of you crossing that finish line together. And that's not, well, what's your price? And what am I going to, they just go, how do I work with you?
Yes.
And I love those conversations when they just say, how do I work with you?
And that's, I think, where, I mean, listen, I have all of the thoughts and ideas, but I think that's where we need to end, because that's the point. We're getting people to the point where they're not asking the clarifying questions. They're just asking, how can I work with you? And you give them the contract and invoice. Done.
That's right.
So
right.
I want to ask a final question of everyone here so that you know that it exists. I will also post it in the comments when the chat is over here. We said a lot of really cool things that all of this was just us hooking up and having a conversation. So we had no idea where this was going to go. But it was neat. Like, I feel like I learned a lot from this conversation, even just by being a part of it. Not that I didn't know it, but like, I feel like I've got a depth of knowledge that was deeper than before. So my thought is, if there's interest, I would be willing to create that list, that point form. Here are a few things that you should do. Here, top 10, whatever. I would be willing to make that list from this conversation if there's interest. And this is going to teach you another lesson, which I learned actually from one of my mentors, is this idea of ready, fire, aim. So we've got this thing. If you want it, tell me and I'll create it. But I'm not going to create it just for, well,
fun.
For fun. Thank you. I was going to say a few other inappropriate words. But, but yeah, if you're interested, let me know. Comment interested, and I'll create it. Like, I have no problem doing that if there's interest, and then we can get that out there. And Lisa and I will probably be collaborating on a number of other things as well. So if you want to hear more about that, make sure that you follow along, subscribe if you're around, follow if you're on LinkedIn, because this is on both LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, actually. So this is all over the place. If you're there, hit us up with a DM. Say hi. We're not like, we'll talk to you about Taylor Swift. apparently I'll talk to you about Pixar all day. Harry Potter, P.S. These guys up here are all my Harry Potter Legos. They're on the tree. Adorable.
Yeah, so awesome.
And we'll also talk to you about how to do the whole book thing and show up in a way that feels fun, aligned, and actually creates traction. So do you have any final words, Lisa, before we pull the plug on this beautiful conversation?
If I was going to leave you with one thing, it would be this. Your authority could be the very thing that future client is looking for to solve their problem. Don't hold on to it. Give it away. Make sure you put it out there, because you could actually be helping someone succeed and not be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning either.
You're waking up at 5 o'clock already, though. So I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. It's a wonderful thing. I will not be doing it, but it's a wonderful thing. With that, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Hit us up with all of your questions, because we're here. We're not going anywhere. We haven't been anywhere for decades now. So trust us, we'll be here. And yeah.